What is generative AI and how does it actually work? Presented by the Educator experience. AI sounds like it understands you. It doesn't, not even a little. It can write emails, create stories, answer questions, generate images, and even give advice. Sometimes it sounds surprisingly intelligent. So, what's actually going on? Because generative AI isn't thinking, it isn't reasoning, and it's not even trying to be right. It's doing something completely different. And once you understand what that is, everything starts to make sense. In this video, we'll break down what generative AI is, what a large language model is, how AI learns, how it processes language, and why it sometimes gets things completely wrong. At its core, generative AI is a prediction system, not a knowledge system, a prediction system. Generative AI creates new content: text, images, audio, video, and code. A simple way to think about it is predictive text on your phone. You've probably typed something like, "I'm on my way," and your phone suggests the next word. Your phone isn't thinking, it's predicting. It has learned that certain words often follow other words. Now imagine that same idea scaled up dramatically. Instead of predicting one word, it can predict entire paragraphs, articles, emails, reports, and conversations. That is the incredible reality of generative AI. Imagine a musician who has listened to thousands of songs. Over time, they begin to recognize patterns, how melodies work, how choruses are structured, and how different styles sound. Eventually, they can create a brand new song. Not because they're copying one song, but because they've learned patterns across many songs. Generative AI works in a similar way. It creates new content based on patterns it has learned from enormous amounts of data. The technology behind tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini is called a large language model, or LLM. These systems are trained on enormous amounts of text: books, websites, articles, documents, and conversations. The amount of text used during training is so large that no human could realistically read it all in multiple lifetimes. So, how does AI actually learn? Imagine giving a student billions of fill-in-the-blank exercises. The capital of France is blank. The cat sat on the blank. The meeting starts at blank. At first, the student gets lots of answers wrong, but every mistake helps them improve again and again and again. Eventually, they become incredibly good at predicting what comes next. That's essentially how AI training works. Now, here's something most people don't realize. AI doesn't actually read words the way humans do. It first breaks language into smaller pieces called tokens. For example, the word unbelievable might be broken into smaller chunks. The model doesn't think in sentences, it processes sequences of tokens. Once language is broken into tokens, everything comes down to one question: what comes next? Given everything so far, what is the most likely next token? The AI doesn't stop and think. It doesn't search the internet. It predicts. And that prediction doesn't happen once. It happens continuously, token by token, sentence by sentence, building the response in real time. Think of an improv actor. They're not reading from a script. They're responding to what's happening around them. Their goal isn't necessarily to find the right answer. It's to say something that fits the moment. That's very similar to what a language model is doing. This is also why prompts matter so much. A prompt isn't really a question, it's context. Every word you add changes what becomes likely next. If AI isn't thinking, why does it sound intelligent? Because language contains evidence of human thinking, explanations, arguments, stories, reasoning, problem solving. And these systems have been exposed to enormous amounts of it, so they've become very good at reproducing patterns that sound intelligent. What feels like intelligence is often prediction matching familiar human patterns. This brings us to one of the biggest limitations of AI: hallucinations. A hallucination happens when AI generates something that sounds accurate but isn't. Fake citations, made up sources, incorrect facts, invented statistics. Why does this happen? Because the model doesn't know when it doesn't know. It just keeps predicting. Think of it like a GPS. Most of the time, it gets you where you need to go, but sometimes it confidently sends you down the wrong road. Understanding this changes how we use AI. Once you realize it isn't thinking or checking facts, you stop treating its responses as final answers. You start treating them as ideas, drafts, starting points, and something to evaluate and improve. So, generative AI isn't magic, it's prediction at scale. It learns patterns from enormous amounts of data, breaks language into tokens, and predicts what comes next again and again. That's why it's powerful, and it's also why it can be confidently wrong. The more we understand how these systems actually work, the better equipped we are to use them wisely. In the next video, we'll go deeper into what's happening under the hood: neural networks, parameters, layers, and why these systems behave the way they do. See you there in our next educational video.